game time with Mike and Donnie.
Kevin Garnett for two.
Kevin Garnett being introduced first by the Celtics here tonight. Thought it might be a little more raucous when he was introduced. There was a nice reception, but they didn't go over the top.
I think there's a ton of number 5 Celtics jerseys in here and a couple of Timberwolves jerseys, but I think once the game gets going, they'll be there for him.
Let's take a look at the Southwest starting lineups here for the Celtics tonight. Rondo, Allen, Perkins, Garnett, and Paul Pierce. No surprises for head coach Doc Rivers. Like to get by his 5th back-to-back of the season here tonight. And then the Celtics will fly to Toronto tomorrow. We'll be with you Sunday afternoon against Jose Calderon and company. On the other side for the Minnesota Timberwolves, familiar faces abound on this basketball team. Not only in the front office, but on the court. It is Foy, Miller, Jefferson, Gomes, and Brewer. Ryan getting the start here tonight. Randy Whitman in his 3rd season as the Minnesota head coach. And Randy Foy's got the tip, and we're underway. Big Al gets his first touch. Jason Collins, old pal of yours, starting center on this basketball team.
Twin, we call him.
Mike Miller's been a good addition to this club. Veteran stability. Al has to force one up. And the first loose ball is taken away down there by Ryan Gomes on the baseline. Misses the jumper, and Pierce has got the rebound. Celtics go to KG. If you're Doc, do you go? Nice pass. Stays down. Do you go to Kevin Garnett early in this game to try to get him involved early?
I think you do exactly what you've been doing, Mike. I don't think you change anything up. You don't want to put any more pressure on anybody else out here. You just play Celtic basketball.
Nice tip by Al Jefferson off the Collins miss, and we're tied at 2.
Al's put on some weight, too.
Yeah, he has.
He's growing up, Mike.
I'll never forget as a rookie, early, I mean like media day, I said to him, I said, do you have a nickname? He said, yes, I'm Big Al. I said, okay, you can be Big Al then. You like Foy as a player?
I really do. I got a chance to do a lot of his games in college at Villanova, and just really a fantastic player. More of a combination guard, but you love to have a guy who knows what to do with the ball, whether it's passing or scoring at that position.
Minnesota bench thought that Perk had going to handle that ball while it was on the rim. No offensive goaltending called. Rondo keeps the dribble alive, finds Perkins underneath, and the foul is going to be on Collins. Let's take a look at tonight's Honeydew List. It's brought to you by Honeydew Donuts. Enjoy the local flavor. What do you got?
Well, like you talked about, Mike, do you go to KG? Do you change it up? I think you keep it the same. Whatever you do, you establish your tempo. Yes, you played last night, but that's okay. Pick your opportunities to run, but don't be afraid to play in the half court and move the basketball. You saw right there. Again, this is a young team, the Timberwolves. 2-8. A lot of those losses might come from them not getting it done on the defensive end. You have to continue to move without the basketball and move the basketball itself.
You know, I want to get back to that play by Rondo in a minute. Ray Allen misses a 3 deep. Rebound taken down by Gomes. There aren't many things that are new in the game, but, you know, I don't remember too many guards. Rondo has picked it up from Steve Nash. Miller misses outside. That is taking the ball underneath, going along the baseline, and keeping the dribble alive, and then coming back out the other side.
And you know, what Steve Nash has done a great job of is you see a block there by Big Al. What Steve Nash has done a great job of and Rondo still, I think, has to figure it out. When do you quick shoot that ball underneath? You know, when do you catch teams off guard when they think you're going to kick it to the corner or pass it back out top? You have to find those little seams and try to quick guys. That's what we call it. You quick them and try to go with that nice quick layup when they're not looking.
It used to be that old rule, though, the point guard had to make up his mind at the free throw line.
Yeah.
You know,
2-foot jump stop.
Exactly.
Pass it, shoot it. Yeah.
Rebound taken down there by Gomes. Celtics the early 4-2 lead. Rondo coming off a strong game last night. Very strong game against Allen Iverson. Miller, the good look to Collins on the baseline. Sends it to the corner to Gomes. Knocks down the jumper.
Real nice part of Ryan Gomes' game. You know, worked on that a lot in the summer back home in Connecticut. That mid-range game. I always thought Ryan could really develop not just that long-distance game, but especially the mid-range game.
Ray Allen goes inside to Perk. Perk, little mismatch, knocks it down over Collins.
Yeah, Collins
down.
Collins not a great athlete, Mike, but the way he found success, and he continues to find success, but especially when I played with him in New Jersey as a young player, is he's very physical. I mean, he knows how to get you and grapple you up and stop you that way.
Rondo, good hustle to track down the missed dunk by Al Jefferson. Pierce. KG with Collins on him this time, and can't bank it home. Rebound taken off the floor by Gomes.
And there you see a little bit Jason Collins not being able to get up off the floor to defend that shot.
Rondo, the nice dish. Nicely done. Celtics the early 8-4 lead. About 4 minutes gone here at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Cold night outside. Miller hard to the hoop for two.
Mike Miller's a good scorer, Mike. I mean, he's not just a three-point shooter, even though he can stroke it from downtown, but 6'6", knows how to play the game.
Ray pulls up. Can't get that three to stay down. Seems like a tight rim up there.
It really does.
Miller gets good screen from Collins. Can't hit the shot. Pierce got another rebound. That's his second. Celtics turn it over. Again, I expected this building to be a lot louder.
Yeah.
I expected to be a lot more emotion. Now, it has been 2 years that Kevin Garnett is gone. It's not like he just left 3 weeks ago.
But not even for KG, even for their own team, Mike. It wasn't that loud during the introductions.
Foy might get away with an extra step there. Pierce gets it ahead. Ray Allen ahead of Miller, and Ray nicely done.
Great pass by Paul Pierce. I mean, there's a difference, especially young people at home watching, there's a difference between throwing the ball to a teammate and passing the ball, and that was just a great pass, hitting the target, which was Ray's lead hand.
Celtics 55% shooting here early. Gomes deep and knocks down a three. Ryan, I believe, is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He might have a nice summer.
Yeah, you know, Ryan's a guy who, again, you know, he has that in-between game. He has the long-distance game. He can also go in the post if need be.
Rondo, quick to the hoop, gets two. Pierce on Gomes. Collins is going to come out, set a screen. Now Perkins has got him in the switch. Collins trying to roll to the hoop, and I think Pierce grabbed him on the way by. That's first on Pierce, and the first on the team. Let's take a look at tonight's Subaru Key matchup. And this is KG and Al about to go at it here. January 25th in Boston was their only meeting. And the Celtics winning two close ones last year. Pretty close here tonight. 12-9, Celtics by 3, 6:11 to go in the first. You're watching the Celtics on Comcast Sportsnet. We're back in a three-point game just about halfway through this first quarter. Celtic fans, now is your chance to see Paul, Ray, KG, and the C's live in action at the Garden. A limited amount of tickets are released at the box office on each and every Celtic game day. To purchase yours, visit the TD Bank North Garden beginning at 11 a.m. daily. For more information, go to Celtics.com or call 866-GO Celtics. Let's check in with our DCU sideline guy, Greg Dickerson.
Kevin Garnett and Al Jefferson got into it a little bit verbally in their one meeting in Boston last year. Al telling me this morning at shoot around, we were going back and forth. He threw in my face about the All-Star game. He said, he's an All-Star. And I said to him, well, we've got one thing that is similar. Again, this was last year. Neither one of us have rings. Al said, well, I guess I can't say that now. And I'm pretty sure he's going to say something to me tonight about what I had said to him last season.
Al's going to learn. You got to come up with new material against KG. You can't just use the old standard stuff.
But you know what, though, Mike? Sometimes you got to understand when you're wrestling with a pig and slop, sometimes a pig wants to be there.
That's right.
And you just can't win.
Collins Al flashes across the middle, misses the jumper. Pierce with his 3rd rebound, making his 4th rebound. KG banks it home. That's the KG I like to see.
Absolutely. The nice little rip through. High. No one can get to it off the glass. And that's the part of Al Jefferson's game, I think, that he really needs to focus on to become an all-star. Yes, it's great to score, and people will say, they just see him knock down a nice jump shot there. I know Tommy's proud to see that shot go down for him. But I think a lot of people, you know, the criticism you get when you're on a team that's not winning is, hey, somebody has to score. And in all fairness to Al, he's a much better player than just a guy on a team who is getting all the shots. But defensively, he's got to pick that part up.
Rondo finds KG, front rims the jumper, rebound to Gomes. And the T-Wolves, 7 minutes in, still in a 1-possession game here. Ford, Jefferson. Wild at that one, and the foul is going to be on Perkins, and there's that physicality of Jason Collins.
And that's exactly what Jason Collins does to you. And here's, again, this is just a fantastic KG move. I mean, this is vintage KG. The rip through, high, 2 defenders, neither one could get to it off the glass soft.
Yeah, that last foul was called on Collins. I thought it was called on Perk.
That's the thing about Jason Collins is you just have no idea. Once he grapples you up, you have no idea which way the foul is going.
Plus, they're both so physical, and one's 34 and the other's 43. So when the officials put up the fingers, you have no idea what's going on. Randy Foy picks that up, his first. Celtics very loose for this game. Big win last night over Detroit. Long plane ride out here tonight. That's going to be on 34. I mean, on 43.
And I know Doc Rivers downplayed, you know, the rest. KG playing 28 minutes, Ray and Paul right around 24, 25 minutes last night. But it really does make a difference, especially when you get in as late or as early as we did. About 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it makes a difference, especially when you're playing against a young team like the Timberwolves. That rest was invaluable. Those guys received last night in that game.
Kevin Love into the game, gets his first touch. Has to come back out deep to Miller with under 10 now on the shot clock. They find Foy. Gomes comes out, sets the screen, gets it back. Love in the corner has to take it to beat the shot clock and is unable to catch any iron.
Yeah, tough spot for the rookies. He's 1 for 6. Well, now 1 for 7 on the season. You just get in the game and shot clock running down. That's all you're left with.
He will defend. He being Kevin Love will defend Garnett on this end. That's a tough matchup.
It's a tough matchup for anybody, but especially a rookie. And I guarantee you, KG knows that there's a rookie behind him trying to guard him.
Rondo gets into the paint, little floater off the back rim, no, and it's ripped off by Al Jefferson. Here comes Foy the other way, and once again, Minnesota with the ball and a chance to tie here 8 minutes into the game. Nowhere for Gomes to go. Foy, floater. Love going to the basket hard, and I think the foul it's going to be on Paul Pierce from behind.
But I like that foul right there. Paul Pierce sticking his nose in, trying to come back, help a teammate out. Rondo gets beat here off the dribble. Randy Foy gets past him. KG steps up to help. And now Kendrick Perkins on the backside, Paul Pierce. I don't mind that foul because you know that Paul Pierce is sticking his nose in, trying to help a teammate out on the glass.
Yeah, they gave that foul to Perk, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now I mind that foul.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you send your big guy to the bench for a second.
That was another one of those 34-43s. I'm not sure that wasn't confused because Perk really, you saw there was daylight between Perk and the player. Love throws down a little hook shot.
That's a time where Kendrick Perkins wants Paul Pierce to raise his hand and say, my foul, ref, give it to me.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
Pierce in the paint, dumps it down to Garnett. Back outside to Paul, over to Ray. Get another good look at a 3, and he's 0 for 3, trying to make one. Gomes comes away with the miss.
Not coming out of Ray's hand great tonight, Mike. You can see with the release, there's really no rotation. And when there is, the rotation is a little left to right instead of straight up and down like normal.
Glenn Davis just into the game, comes up with a steal. Davis came in for Perk. Rondo explodes to the basket, and then a wild shot doesn't catch any glass at all. And the foul is on Glenn Davis.
And that's been a challenge for Rondo all season. If there's one thing that you would have to point out is his ability, yes, to get to the paint has been great and get to the rim, but now the inability to make the right decision, to lay it up, to keep it simple, to find the guy. And I think he really has to stay with that aggressive mind state.
Pass picked off by Pierce, trying to force it into Jefferson. Celtics got numbers here as Big Al's trailing the field. And it's tipped away inside, and Jefferson just into the picture. Came up with the loose ball, and Rajon Rondo is going to get the foul. We got a timeout, 2:58 to go. We thought it might be close. It is a one-point game here at the Target Center. 7 to go here in the first quarter. It's a 14-13 game. Donnie and I were just talking during the break here, and it's like you're waiting for the featured speaker to take the court. I mean,
absolutely.
It's very quiet in this building.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. It looks sold out, but it's just very, I mean, very calm, very subdued crowd.
Yeah. Maybe that's a function of being 2-8.
It could be, but listen, people, you have the world champs in your building.
Yeah,
This is,
exactly.
you know.
And you're not going to see him again this year.
That's right. This is entertainment.
All right, Celtics have got Brian Scalabrine out there now with Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Glenn Davis. It's Foy, Love, Gomes, Miller, and Jefferson. Skip past to Foy in the corner. KG out there to defend the shot, and Foy comes up well short. Here comes Rondo on the break. Miller back defensively. Good play by Foy from behind. Gomes. Garnett with the block. And they say that Gomes got some glass before he blocked it. And that wakes up the crowd a little bit.
Well, it was great hustle by KG and Scalabrine. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was close there.
Yeah.
The ref might have been a little out of position because that ball was still going up, and it didn't look like it hit the glass, Mike.
Didn't seem to change its spin.
No.
Ray Allen back to KG, about a 17-footer, and he buries it.
I like that. I like that. And Mike, you and I have been talking about it. There's really, for KG, a big difference in 17 feet to 19 feet. There really has been a difference this season. And at times it's just a product of the shot clock running down, but I think his comfort zone and where Doc would want him in this offense is about 17 feet, and that's about the max.
Glenn Davis picks up that foul for the Celtics. And it's going to put Mike Miller at the free throw line. Rajon Rondo going to the Boston bench. Eddie House, who played so well last night against the Pistons, comes in. Miller brings a lot of points to this team, brings some maturity to this team. I know Doc coached Mike Miller down in Orlando, loves him.
Yeah.
Always says there's always a spot on his roster for Mike Miller.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
He's just a fantastic shooter. I mean, this team is shooting 29% from three-point range. Mike Miller is shooting 43%. I mean, he really is their lone three-point threat. And
doesn't say much about the rest of the guys.
It really does not.
Wolves with a 17-16 lead. Jefferson right there underneath Garnett. Couple of fakes. KG across the lane, and Big Al incredulous. He got a foul called on.
Yeah, again, that to me would be the only spot. I mean, Al Jefferson, a terrific player. That would be the low spot is his defense. I mean, really got to do a better job of putting your hands on KG, keeping him outside of that paint. You know, KG, again, you see there, just great finish turning over the left shoulder. It's a tough guard. I mean, he can go over his left, he can go over his right shoulder. He has so much stuff to his move on the post, but still, these games are what guys relish. Al Jefferson's a guy who has to understand, coming into this game, this is where I can get a great gauge for my game at both ends of the floor.
Second foul on Al, goes to the bench. KG misses the first free throw. Garnett 3 of 6 from the floor. There is season numbers. Just shy of a double-double. Makes the second. Tied at 17. Smith gives it to Love, who finishes strong in the baseline.
Great team basketball there. Craig Smith had a nice little bunny he could have shot, but drew the defense, dropped it off to Kevin Love for the dunk.
Ray Allen gets into the paint. Knocks down a tough little leaning. House defending Foy. Foul is called on Ray Allen. Ray trying to talk that one over as he leaves the game. That was way off the ball. Miller will be at the free throw line as the Celtics are over the limit, under a minute to go in the first. I know it's stating the obvious here, Donnie, but the last thing you want to do is let these guys hang around in this game.
Yeah, I mean, again, Mike, I believe that you let young teams start to believe they can play with you. They even surprise themselves late in games.
Sebastian Telfair out there for the first time. Celtics have Poe, House, Davis, Scalabrini, and Tony Allen on the floor. Telfair, Smith, Miller, Love, and Corey Brewer. Scal, nice little crossover move. Tony Allen back. Scal's going to take a three. Knocks it down.
I mean, it was really good defense. You could see the Celtics really, lanes were getting cut off, but the extra pass, Mike, again, moving that basketball, let Scalabrini have an opportunity to make that three.
Scal now 5 of his last 7. So much of this game, Donnie, is between the ears.
It really is.
You know, I mean, his confidence level is just through the roof right now.
Yeah. But, you know, again, you have a couple guys, Tony Allen, Brian Scalabrini, they keep the game simple. That's where they find the most success. When they start to think a little bit too much, they get a little bit quick for themselves, and then it gets a little bit out of control.
Eddie House inside. Glenn Davis looking for a foul call. Didn't get one as time runs out here. Telfair can't get it up in time, and the Celtics are going to end the first quarter with a 1-point lead. But the Timberwolves, again, coming in off a win over the Philadelphia 76ers, feeling pretty good about themselves, hanging tough here in the first quarter of Kevin Garnett's return to Minnesota. 22-21 Boston on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, when we got off the plane last night here in Minneapolis, we realized that winter had indeed arrived. It was cold, and it was cold all day today. But no snow on the ground. That's a good sign. Celtics head to Toronto after this, so we're getting an early touch of winter here on the Celtics schedule. And those folks came all the way down from Iowa. Steve and his wife, I met them before the game. Big-time Celtic fans, watch just about every game on the dish. And Iowa loves the Celtics, you bet. Let's take a look at tonight's quarter stats. They're brought to you by Ace Ticket. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 53% shooting for Boston, 36 for the Timberwolves, yet it's a 1-point game, Donnie.
Yeah, you know, right now, you know, the free throw line for the Timberwolves is what's helping them, but also, you know, the Celtics really, you can see that they have a chance to kind of blow this thing open, and the Timberwolves just aren't letting them get out of sight. 6
turnovers for Boston. That hasn't helped the cause. Corey Brewer got Davis in the air, takes it to the basket, has a chance for a 3-point play. They got a lot of guys on this team. Donnie, Corey Brewer, Rodney Carney, who were very well thought of coming out of college.
Yeah, they really were. Great athletes, big guys who can play couple different positions. Great move there. Shows you a little bit of Brewer's athleticism. And, you know, Glenn Davis in that situation, he's gotten caught in the air on 2 shot fakes now, and he needs to realize that, you know what, I'm a big guy, I need to stay on the ground, I'm not a shot blocker, stay down, contest the shot, because one, Mike, if they jump into you, get the foul call, but you put too much pressure on your teammates when you go for that ball fake. That's twice it's happened to him there, resulting in a foul.
Tony Allen looking inside, that pass is picked off, the 7th Boston turnover. Carney gets it ahead to Telfair. Out to Love, doesn't hesitate. That's going to be a 2. Should have been a 2. His toe was on the line, didn't go in anyway. And Craig Smith, doing what he does best, comes up with the rebound. Brewer by a little 15-footer. That's not going down. Eddie House off the floor with it. Love defending Davis. Tony Allen off the dribble, gets into the paint. Little leaner by Tony, won't stay down. Nice board by Leon Poe. Has it stripped, though. Out of the pack comes Carney. Scalabrini back defensively. Carney, pretty good move with the left hand, couldn't finish. Here comes Eddie House. Davis. Nope. Glenn's been taking and making that shot of late.
I like that shot for Glenn Davis, too. Again, it's at 15, 16-foot range. He showed us he could shoot that three, that college three, back in school. So
Smith strong in the baseline, and Glenn Davis has picked up his third personal foul.
Craig Smith has been one of my favorites, Mike, for a long time. Did his games at Boston College, and I really think he's really created a nice little niche for himself here in Minnesota. A guy 6'7", you know, great move there, using his body, strength. That's Glenn Davis's third foul. Craig Smith is a guy who understands his game. You know, he doesn't try to be a three-point shooter, doesn't try to be a shot-blocking center. He just understands what his niche is, and that's what's kept him in the league.
That's a really good point, Donnie, because when you look at a lot of guys around the league who your first reaction is, you say, like, well, why is he still here?
Yeah.
Usually the first thing out is he understands what his limitations are.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, he plays hard, he works hard. You know, every year you can see him getting better. And there you see 2007 all-rookie second team. I mean, that's fantastic for a guy they would call a tweener.
Coates is in the second free throw, and the T-Wolves have their largest lead, 25-22. Tony Allen off the bounce in traffic. Nice defensive play by Carney. It's going to stay Boston ball, but let's take a look at the block.
I mean, this is just great athleticism by Carney.
Taken in the first round by the Sixers. Eddie House right off the catch. Almost halfway down. Telfair. That's a veteran move out of Love right there.
It's interesting as you watch this unit on the floor for the Timberwolves. Craig Smith is the wily vet. He was born in 1983. Talk about youth. But this is just a great heads-up play, like you mentioned, Mike. A veteran move by Kevin Love.
That's third foul on Perk. Love knocks it down. Let's check in with our DCU sideline reporter.
Yeah, and Kevin Love is learning from veteran Al Jefferson. He said it's really kind of strange. He said, I'm 20, he's 24, but he's kind of become a mentor for me, despite the fact that there's only 4 years of an age difference between the two. He said he's working on post moves and playing out on the wing as well. My useless fact of the night, Kevin Love's dad is former Bull Stan Love, his uncle, Mike Love from the Beach Boys.
Terrific. That's good.
I don't think that's useless.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Good stuff, Greg.
I didn't know the Stan Love part. I knew the Mike Love part. I didn't know the Stan Love. Scal misses from the corner, and Carney comes away with it. Nearly 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Celtics have missed their last 6 shots. Sebastian Telfair showing a little bit of range. 29-22, a 7-point T-Wolves lead. You would think this crowd would be going bananas, though.
Yeah, you would think, Mike. I mean, really, they are desensitized to what's going on in here.
Pierce gets a nice bounce. Paul's only taken 2 shots in the game. He's made them both.
And this is the time where Paul Pierce really needs to turn it up and help this second unit. As you see Rajon Rondo coming to the scorer's table to check back in the game. Great defense there. Oh, man.
Tony Allen can't believe that foul was called on him. We'll take a look. We'll be back. 8:30 to go in the half. 29-24. T-Wolves. Timberwolves, in a bit of a surprise, have a 29-24 lead, 8:30 to go here in the first half in Minneapolis. Hey, you're looking to entertain clients or just have a fun night out with friends and family? Single game suite nights are on sale right now for every Celtic home game, and they're available to groups of up to 20. It includes great seats in your own private suite, a welcome for your group on the Jumbotron, special catering options, and a whole lot more. Also, bring your sweet ticket stub to any Modell sporting goods store, and you'll get 15% off your total purchase of regular priced merchandise. To inquire about available dates and seating, call 866-GO-CELTICS or visit Celtics.com. It's courtesy of Modell's. Let's take a look at that last foul on Tony Allen there, Donnie.
Well, TA trying to run out there and under control, and it looked like he got the ball first, but then also got the hand. And I'm not real clear with what the call, the call is there. If you get the ball, the shot has been blocked.
That's right. Yep.
And then you follow through, and now the hand is hit. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. He blocked the shot, so, but that's.
Yep. I got to bring that up next time I get a chance to talk casually with one of the officials.
Yeah.
Carney misses the free throw.
I have a feeling that if you ask 3 different officials, you may get 3 different answers, though.
Well, Rodney getting a look tonight.
Well, you look up at that score, Mike, it's 30-24, and you're trying to figure out how it's happened. At least one aspect of the game, the Timberwolves have been to the line now with Carney 11 times, Celtics twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can see right now which team seems to be the aggressor. And the 8 turnovers can't help you when you're the Celtics, especially playing on the road.
Pierce dumps it down nicely to Leon Poe, who's going to get a couple of free throws after getting whacked. Sebastian Telfair got a piece from him.
Just a great play all around. Started with Brian Scalabrine threading the needle. Just a great pass. Paul Pierce gets a guy in the air. And Leon Poe right there with the foul just can't finish.
Leon trying to shake it off. Seeing double right now probably. Blurry anyway.
You talk about a couple things that I always believe might make the difference when you're playing on the road. Your turnovers. Celtics not doing a great job in that department right now, but it's also on the glass. It's pretty even, but free throw line also is the third thing that I think you have to have, especially to be able to have success on the road.
Leon, we showed you earlier the game-winning shot last year. Nearly picked off by Scalabrine. Pretty good pass by Love right there to Carney. Can't hit the shot. Rebound controlled by Tony Allen. Gets it ahead to Rondo, who's back in, leaves it for Pierce. Pierce being defended by Corey Brewer. Now he's got Telfair, who runs off. Brewer comes back. Not a good pass.
Well, that's the difference we talked about earlier, Mike, about throwing the ball and passing it to a teammate. That right there was just basically throwing the ball in the vicinity of a teammate, not necessarily passing it.
That was a bail me out of here.
That was. I'm in trouble, please.
Love, good defense by Poe. Love stays with it. Pierce comes away with it. Pierce got 6 rebounds in the game already. Paul off the dribble, takes it hard to the basket. Brewer got a piece of it. Pierce stays with it. Love now takes it over the top. Brewer the other way, slash into the hoop, and he travels with it. Big Al's come back into the game. Kevin Love sits down. So it's Jefferson, Brewer, Carney, Smith, and Telfair. Celtics got Rondo, Scalabrine, Poe, Tony Allen, and Paul Pierce. Rondo. TA hard to Leon. Oh.
Great hands. I mean, his hands it has to be some of the strongest hands in the NBA, Mike.
Celtics crawl back to within 4 here, halfway through this second quarter. Jefferson in the paint, been in there for a while. Short rebound to Pierce again.
A great D by Leon Poe. Al Jefferson turning back over his right shoulder.
Pierce has got 8 first-half rebounds. That was a tough pass Rondo tried to make there to Tony Allen.
Spacing not great, Mike. I mean, everything's very tight. Guys, and you would expect the timing to be off on a back-to-back, but you have to continue to keep that good spacing. One, for better offense, but two, it's tougher to defend. And right now, we're not seeing that from the Celtics. Very bunched up.
Kevin Garnett back in the game now with 6:20 to go in the half. It's going to be a 2-shot foul as the ball wasn't inbounded. Corey Brewer, I believe, picks it up. And Ray Allen will be at the line for a couple. Mike Miller is going to come back in the game for the T-Wolves. Ray had his consecutive free throw streak broken against Detroit the other night. Ooh.
Just great hands. We talked about Leon Poe. Look at that guy from behind you and just death grip on that ball. I can hear Tommy back in the studio saying, Mike, you jinxed Ray on that free throw.
Yeah, that's right. He wouldn't be happy right now. 31-28, one possession game again. Boston down by 3. Just about halfway through the second quarter. Miller defended by Ray Allen. Leon Poe's got Al Jefferson. Big Al's going to take it. Rebound of Pierce. Boy, Pierce is just getting every defensive rebound. He's got 9 of them now. He lost control on the dribble. Telfair. And Garnett knew it was going to be a goaltend, but he was going to get there anyway.
Again, all set up by poor spacing, Mike. Paul Pierce really didn't have a chance to get the space to wheel and deal there, and Sebastian Telfair just gummed it up and read it right with the steal.
Ray Allen lays it down on a good play. Rondo to find Leon inside, and they called him for traveling. And we're going to get ourselves a timeout. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to go first half. Timberwolves holding on to the lead here on Comcast Sports Day.
Welcome back to the Target Center here in Minneapolis. T-Wolves with a lead over the Celtics. 5:42 remaining here in the second quarter. Rajon Rondo coming off a pair of 7 for 11 games, 18 points last night in the win over the Detroit Pistons. And what a difference when Rajon Rondo is on his offensive game. Talking to Doc before the ball game, he said his speed has to be a factor. Last 2 games are what we're seeing in him every night. That's what he has to do every night. I understand he's young, he'll be inconsistent a little bit, but I like the way he was attacking, not letting guards off the hook. Make guys guard him, because I'll tell you what, Doc said, when he's an offensive factor, it really takes our offense to another level, and it takes his team's win-loss record to another level, guys, averaging 10 points a game in wins, just 2 points a game in losses. You see the field goal percentage, over 54%, just 17% in those losses this year.
Yeah, 1 for 3 so far in the game tonight, but we are early.
Yeah, just a spectacular game by Rondo against Allen Iverson in Detroit last night. I mean, it really was, and he is the difference maker for these guys when he gets it going.
Smith, little crossover move. Taken down by Leon Poe. Pierce. Time for a shot, comes up short. Smith gets it ahead to Telfair. What do you get Telfair, Donnie?
You know, he looks good this year, Mike. He really looks slimmed down. And again, you talk about, whoa, what a great steal by Rondo there.
Mike Miller, nice play by Miller, made Rondo almost blow the layup, which he did, actually. Yeah. And Leon Poe with some good hustle for 2.
You talk about the game being played between the ears. I think that's been Sebastian Telfair's struggle of really trying to not just, one, play the game on the floor, but keep himself on the floor. His off-the-court antics have really, you know, have been the thing that's hampered him. But and he's a talent. A guy who definitely would have benefited from going to college, though, Mike. There's no question.
Yep. Leon couldn't finish, and Jefferson comes away with it. Celtics turning up the defense right now in the Timberwolves are down to 32% shooting, even though they're holding on to a 3-point lead. Not many points going up in this game at all. See how hard it is for the ball to go in?
Man, oh man. I mean, at both ends of the floor, Mike, that ball is just, it just does not want to go in.
Telfair kicks it back out. Those are hard rims. You can just tell by the sound. Al Jefferson gets a little hook in the lane. 35-30 with 3 minutes to go in the half.
It's important to understand, too, if you're the Celtics and you know this team really is starting to get into a groove, the Timberwolves, those three-pointers are going to be long. You got to get a feel for the rims. And at your end, there's going to be some long rebounds.
Rondo's going to take it right off the catch. Heard the Boston bench yelling walk when Smith that's how quiet it is in this building. It's amazing. Ryan Gomes is long with it, but it's tracked down by Smith. Boy, Smith's got a great nose for the basketball.
Yeah. Again, long rebounds. Timberwolves are beating the Celtics to all of them.
Triple team down there on Al, and out of the pack comes Rondo. Celtics got numbers here as Jefferson's down on the other end. Pierce takes it to the basket.
And that's what you do, Mike. When you're missing those little bunnies, you're missing the three-pointers, you're Paul Pierce, you get the ball going to the basket.
Randy Whitman wants a 20-second timeout, but they'll turn it into a full. 2:33 left to go. We are in the first half. Low-scoring game. Timberwolves by 3. Back in a low-scoring game, 35-32 with 2:33 to go here in the first half on Comcast Sportsnet. Timberwolves on top. Let's take a look at tonight's NBA news brought to you by Toyota. Value, proven and trusted. How about the New York Knicks today? It took them a while to start to move, but when they move, holy cow. Al Harrington coming to the Knicks for guard Jamal Crawford. And before the ink was even dry on that one, the Knicks traded Zach Randolph and Marty Collins for the Clippers for Tim Thomas and Katino Mobley. Your thoughts there?
Well, you can see exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to just create some cap space and trying to free up a little bit of money. And, you know, it just stinks that you get off to a pretty good start, a better start than they had the last couple of years. And now, you know, you're not promised that you can keep that going, you know.
Right.
So
that's just got LeBron written all over it right there?
Or Dwayne Wade, or 2 years, Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, there's a ton of guys in a couple years who are going to be available.
This way better replay is brought to you by Wendy's. It's better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
Great defense by Rondo, sticking his nose in here. Just take the ball. It's like taking candy from a baby. And like you said, Mike Miller, good hustle. Rondo trying to finish with one hand, but Leon Poe there to follow it up for the putback.
You know, the thing is for Leon Poe there, Donnie, you do that 10 times, 9 times the guy makes the layup. Nobody ever notices you ran the length of the floor.
Right, right.
Kevin Garnett doing his little routine under there as the Timberwolves kept throwing the ball up towards the basket. He kept knocking it away.
A little instigator in him.
Leon Poe picking up the foul, his second, and so Al Jefferson's going to be at the free throw line. For the final 2:25, it's going to be Miller, Jefferson, Foy, Love, and Gomes. Celtics have Garnett, Pierce, Poe, Rondo, and Ray Allen. Al makes them both.
Part of his game that's always been pretty solid, right around the high 70s, mid to high 70s from the free throw line. It's great to see your center shooting the ball like that.
Is he a center?
I mean, for this team, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. Until he can find a guy like Amari Stoudemire found Shaq, I think he's going to have to deal with being their main post presence.
Ray Allen throws it away, and Love comes up with the turnover. That's the 12th Boston turnover. It's about their 7th or 8th in this quarter. Foy misses deep. Another rebound to Leon Poe. Gets it quickly to Rondo. Loops it ahead to Garnett. Foy, a good play, but Garnett takes it away from him and lays it in.
Yeah, great hands by KG. Great focus to stay in bounds, come down, not travel, and go back up and finish. Love it when your big guys run the floor when they're up ahead of everybody. I love to see that.
Love straight away. Rebound Garnett.
And he's about 1 for 10 now, Mike, on the season, and he just continues to let that thing go. Just because you're open, young people, doesn't mean you shoot it.
Foul is on Foy. Here's that pass you were talking about.
Yeah, just great heads-up play. Find your point guard and KG up ahead, ripping it down and going straight up. It's just awesome to see a 7-footer just outrunning everybody down the floor.
Pierce in traffic. No whistle. T-Wolves are just 2 of their last 13. Gomes makes it 2 of 14, and the Celtics get it back with under a minute to go here in the half. Boston is shooting 40%, but their defense has them right in this game. Ray Allen runs Love off the floor. Leon Poe for 2.
Great move by Leon there. Keeping it simple. Passed it back out, got a little bit deeper on Kevin Love, and set him up for a nice 2-foot jump hook.
Leon's got 7 off the bench. Al Jefferson in the lane. How many times have we seen that? Misses that one. In a tussle, and the foul is going on Leon Poe.
Wow. And this is after Leon had reposted, and it's a tough shot to stop, especially as long as Leon Poe is. Those are the plays you need, especially when you're struggling a little bit. You're turning the ball over, like you mentioned, 12 times. It's a close game. You're on the road. Shots aren't falling. You got to pound the ball in the paint.
The lack of turnovers, too, is what is keeping Minnesota alive.
Absolutely.
They've only turned it over 6 times. Stay tuned for our halftime report. It's presented by McDonald's. Gary and Tommy back in the studio. They'll have a breakdown of tonight's first half, and you'll hear from Mike Vrabel on the upcoming Patriots-Dolphins game on Sunday. That's all coming up at halftime. Brewer in, Love out. Telfair's coming in for this final possession. Ten points for Al Jefferson in the game, first player in the game in double figures. Celtics will look for the final shot here, trailing by 3. Rondo taking it down. Rondo's gonna have to shoot it. Comes up short. Celtics didn't get much out of that. Doc telling Rajon, I think, to take the ball to the basket as he was headed for the locker room. The Celtics are in a tight one here on the road. Low scoring at the Target Center here in Minneapolis. It's halftime, 39-36. The Timberwolves have the lead on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight's first half replay brought to you by AAA Auto Glass. For all your auto glass needs, go to AAA.com. 39-36. It's a 3-point game. The Celtics are trailing at the half. Mike Gorman along with Donnie Marshall. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, if Randy Whitman went in the locker room and told his team, you're shooting 27% from the field and 11% from the 3-point line, and we're winning, keep it up, I think everyone would look at him like he's crazy, but that's what's happening. But it's all effect of the defense that the Timberwolves are playing. 8 steals for them, and also they're getting to the free throw line, 14 of 16. Celtics, 6 times they've been to the free throw line. Only a stat that Tommy Heinsohn would hate.
Tommy, he did that for you. He did that for you. Let's take a look at tonight's Shot presented by Amica Insurance. It's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Kevin Garnett, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of them in close, 1 from out by the 3-point line. That's tonight's Amica Shot Chart, presented by Amika. It's not how you cover it, it's how you treat it. What do the coaches have to say, Greg?
Well, a couple things, and you guys talked about it throughout the first half. The spacing on offense, so the spacing was not good at all, especially on the break. We're not getting any easy baskets, and our poor spacing is leading to turnovers. On the defensive end of the ball, Celtics coaches trying to implore their guys to stop going for ball fakes on the perimeter. We're fouling too many jump shooters, and we allowed them to get to the line too early and too often in that first half.
Paul Pierce off the feed from Kevin Garnett knocks down a shot. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. They're brought to you by Ace Ticket. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Look at that 27% shooting for the Timberwolves, yet they lead in the game. Boston an edge on the glass. Too many turnovers and not enough trips to the free throw line. The story so far. But now the Celtics will have the ball and a chance to grab the lead here early in the second half.
And you can almost bet that the Celtics went in at halftime, figured out some things, worked them out. They're going to try to put them to use out here on the floor and really make a change. For the Timberwolves, it's easy to say with the veteran team, you just have confidence if you're Doc Rivers that your team's going to step up. For the Timberwolves, it's been the same story most of the season, Mike, that they lead a game at the half, lead after the third, but they just cannot finish games.
Kevin Garnett with the loud finish, and you can hear Kevin again. This is just a remarkably quiet building.
And you look around, and most of those cheers are coming from fans with Celtics shirts on.
Yep. First lead since 22-21 for the Celtics. Doesn't seem like that long ago on the scoreboard. It's a long time ago on the clock phone.
Great penetration right here, just turning the corner. Ray Allen, Craig Smith steps up. I'm sorry, Jason Collins steps up and leaves an easy dunk for KG.
Gomes on the baseline, can't convert.
Toughest shot in the game to me, Mike, in my opinion. That 7-8 footer from the baseline, very, very difficult shot.
You know, we saw in the notes that the Timberwolves are only shooting 33%, I think, in the final 6-7 minutes of games. That'll be an improvement tonight.
It will be. That's a hold on Jason Collins. That's what he's known to do. He tries to engage guys, and if he can't get the rebound, he makes it very difficult for you to get it, but you got to do it without fouling.
His brother's still playing in Utah, right?
Jaren, yeah. Great family. I mean, just terrific people. Jaren's got a little baby now. Jason's engaged, going to get married this summer. Just a great, great family.
Kendrick Perkins picks up his fourth personal foul here with 10:15 to go in the third. Looking over at Doc to see, and yeah, he's going to go to Glenn Davis. Tough night for Perk here, just 2 points and 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 fouls. You never want the largest number of your stat line to be fouls.
Absolutely, but it's so tough. We've seen that a lot from Kendrick Perkins, but it's so tough to go in there and tell him, you know what, take it down a notch. That's just how he's built. That's how he has to come out and play, and he needs to play like that. There's just a couple situations, especially on on-ball screens, where he has to be under control and setting better screens.
Jefferson triple teamed, somehow gets through it, and never touched the rim. 24-second violation. Here come the Celtics the other way. They get it to KG in the middle, back to Rondo. Cross court, Ray Allen. Can he hit one? Not yet.
Those old legs, Mike. Get in late.
Randy Foy gets it back on the other end. You know, I'm watching Foy here, Donnie. I didn't see him play that much in college. And you mentioned he's like a combo guard. Are they forcing things, trying to make him a point guard here?
You know, in college he played with Allen Ray. We remember great backcourt, Allen Ray, and really he played kind of off the ball, but he was a scoring guard. And I think there comes a point, especially when you get to this level, where at times you have to make that decision. Are you going to be a point guard? Do they want me to be point? Do they want me to be shooting guard? And I think he's at that size, and he has the mentality to be able to play point guard. So I don't think it's stretching, saying that this guy can be a point guard.
Here's the physical game once again of Collins, who picks up his 5th foul, I believe.
This is just a great misdirection here. Great play, and going back the other way, defense looking the other way, and Jason Collins right underneath it.
Yeah, his 4th, not his 5th, his 4th. 14 seconds for the Celtics on the shot clock. Glenn Davis got lucky. Rondo's going to have to shoot it. And knocks down a three.
2 games now we've seen Rondo with the little pull-up.
2 for 8 shooting for Rajan. And some quick hands to knock it away from Foy from behind.
Great communication, though. Glenn Davis looking around. You hear Rondo's voice yell, baby. And finds him. Nice little pull-up there.
Foy comes up short. Rondo's got it. Nice lead pass to Ray Allen. Collins was back, though, to cut off the angle. Here's KG for 2.
I mean, right there, you see great body control. You know, so many players would try to dunk that ball, even if they didn't have a chance. Great job by KG, catch and finish.
Celtics have opened up a 45-41 lead, 13-4 run in the last 5:15 here on Comcast Sportsnet. We are back in a 4-point game. The Celtics have taken the lead here in the second half off a 13-5 run, 8:37 to go in the third. This way better replay is brought to you by Wendy's. It's better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
Well, you look at the focus here. Great pass. Ray Allen, throw it up high to your big fella. And KG hanging in the air after the great catch. And so many times you see guys try to do too much with that play.
Kevin Garnett, as we said, played 12 years here wearing the uniform of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and as a result, he leads them in just about every category you can think of: points, games, minutes, steals, assists, rebounds, of course, blocks, of course, free throws, field goals. What's left? Not much.
All the good stats.
Got the best stat in Boston, though. Got the ring.
That's right.
Ray Allen dribbles through a crowd off the turnover. Rondo banks it home.
Great job. Great read by Rajon Rondo. Ray Allen really cut off, no place to go, and Rondo there getting his back, cutting down through the lane. Nice little floater off the glass.
7 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists for Rondo in the game, and Boston has opened up a 6-point lead. That's the biggest Celtic lead of the night. Miller. Nice hustle rebound underneath there by Mr. Gomes. Can't get it down. 3 misses on very makeable shots by the T-Wolves. They're 1 of 8 in this third quarter, and they're shooting 25% now for the game.
Might be this end of the floor, Mike. I think the floor might be slanted a little bit towards the Celtics basket now, because the Timberwolves, even though they struggled, they still had it going this way in the first half.
It is a new floor. Rondo right on with that from our angle. Just a little long. Miller the other way. Comes up short, and a blocking foul is called underneath.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Paul Pierce stuck in the circle there. Mike Miller just had the edge, getting past Ray Allen, and yeah, he's clearly in the circle.
Yep. Sebastian Telfair has come into the game. Randy Whitman having a long talk with Randy Foy before he gets to the bench. Celtics come into tonight's action first in the league in defensive field goal percentage, second in points allowed by about 0.3 of a point to Houston. So the way this game is going, that number's coming down tonight, with Minnesota only having 43 points on the board here with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. That, of course, is barring a multiple overtime.
Yeah.
You can say that because we're not flying out tonight. There's KG going back door. Celtics going to stay here in Minneapolis tonight, fly to Toronto tomorrow. We'll be with you Sunday. Early afternoon game, 12:30. Celtics and the Raptors. Doc appealing that call. I think that's pretty cool. We're going to take a look at the alley-oop on the other end.
Yeah, great play. Throw it up high for KG. You lose sight of KG, it's trouble. You always have to keep him in front of you, especially down there on the post. There's another look. Great pass. Lead your big man. Don't make him have to do too much. Just go up there, catch it, and finish.
Kevin Garnett, without a lot of fanfare, the leading scorer in the game with 15 points. Doesn't take a lot of points to be the leading scorer in this.
No.
Al Jefferson has got 11. He's the only other player in double figures other than Garnett. Doc, I think, was saying that that play originated down low so that the semicircle there doesn't matter, and Davis had established position. Let's check in with Greg. What do you got?
From Doc Rivers complained to Joe DeRosa that Al Jefferson wasn't going to shoot. He said, listen, you can't anticipate what he was going to do. He was turning. He could have passed the ball out to Mike Miller. That's what I would have done.
I like that there, Mike. That's the Rondo that we saw last night. Very aggressive going to the basket. There was no doubt that he was going to try to finish this play right there. Just a great job. Go right at the big man's chest. Make the officials blow the whistle. Tommy will tell you the officials will favor the little guy every time.
Been watching Rondo closely at the free throw line, trying to figure out what's going on. He took his time there. Still missed, shooting only 55% at the line coming in. 1 of 2.
Yeah, he shot it much better last year from the free throw line, Mike. And that was the only thing I could see was his timing. He was hurrying, it seemed. He was rushing his free throw. You know, the pre-shot routine was very, very quick.
Love is going to get to the line. Glenn Davis. That's number 5 on Big Baby. Minnesota continues to hang around here.
Well, this is the 3rd time this game, Mike, where Glenn Davis has got himself caught in the air and probably could have stayed down. You got KG back there, you know, to help block that shot.
Garnett got ball, yeah.
And he did get ball, but Glenn Davis, that's the 3rd time now he's jumped. He's went for those shot fakes. He's got to stay on the floor.
Leon Poe's coming back into the Celtic lineup, and Glenn Davis will sit down with that 5th foul. You know, I've been watching all night here, and you're my college guy. Kevin Love's game.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'm trying to figure out, as we're watching this game, exactly what Randy Whitman has for him. What's his future? What is his position? Is he a power forward? Can he step out? I mean, he's made 1 3-pointer out of about 10 this season, so he's not a long-range guy yet. You know he's a strong guy. He's not the quickest big guy down there. He's not a power forward like KG, so I'm still interested in what position they have in mind for Kevin Love to be able to play.
Leon Poe overpowers him right there, can't finish the shot, then takes the rebound away from him, and Sebastian Telfair will be called for the reach-in foul. You know, Kevin Love was kind of like a YouTube legend there with all those long shots that he would make.
The length of the court,
length of the court shots, but he strikes me just off one game watching him, and I know you can't make a judgment off one game, but he strikes me as maybe a kid who could have benefited by staying in school a little bit longer.
No question. No question. I think you can't really put into words and really a value on how important it is to stay in school. I know there's a lot of guys who have different situations in their family who, you know, the opportunity arises, you jump at it. But Kevin Love, a guy who I agree with that, Mike, and I think he would probably be better suited to play in the Eastern Conference. There are some players I think that are better suited to play on each coast, and he to me is more of a half-court guy. I don't see him as a running up-and-down guy who can really withstand an entire 82-game season of getting up and down like they do in the Western Conference.
Here he comes up and floats around outside the three-point line.
Yeah. And clearly not comfortable. I mean, catching the ball out there, he clearly is not comfortable that far away from the basket.
Now Jefferson with 4 on the shot clock. Garnett all over the rebound. Tough night for Al. He's 3 for 14. Garnett picking up his 4th rebound. And that's going to be a foul underneath on Ryan Gomes.
And Ryan Gomes should know what that play is. I mean, he's run that play a ton of times being a Celtic. He's seen it been run for Paul Pierce. He has to know that you either got to front that or really force Paul back away from the basket. Anytime Paul gets in front of you, you got KG out there throwing it inside, you get sealed, you're dead.
That is the first free throw attempt for Paul Pierce in this game. Paul has been on a run of late in terms of getting to the free throw line.
But you look at his stat line, Mike, and it just, it just goes to show you that, again, Paul Pierce is doing what he has to do for his team. He has 10 rebounds in this game. I mean, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and you talked about it was a second free throw there. He's only been to the line twice.
Sometimes people they'll look at you and roll their eyes when you want to talk about Paul Pierce in the same breath that you talk about LeBron and Kobe. But Paul has just become more and more a player. You just have to watch him play every night to understand all the different things he brings to the table. Ray Allen hard to the hoop for 2.
Great drive by Rondo, and Ray Allen continues to run the floor. You know your point guard's going to get you.
Miller, Telfair travels as he tries to make a move to the hoop and then tried to throw up a layup for fun, and of course Garnett just slapped it away.
Now look at this push right here. Great left-handed bounce pass to Ray Allen. And a nice finish.
4 assists now on the night for Rondo. Came in the leagues, amongst the league leaders in assists. Love coming down hard on the ball, and Pierce right on cue will get to the line for 2 more free throws.
Awesome to watch him work, Mike. I mean, just take a look at this. I mean, here he gives you a little jab. You don't know which way he's going. Gets Ryan going, shifted a little bit. Great head fake, and he knows the contact is coming. Jumps right into the contact. Awesome to watch.
Celtics now with 13 free throw attempts, 22 for the Timberwolves. And Boston has opened up a 10-point lead, their largest lead of the game.
It's awesome too, Mike. You see Paul Pierce shooting the second free throw. To watch special players can pivot and go off of either foot. And Paul Pierce does that. He'll pivot off of his left and go one way, pivot off of the right foot. I mean, it just gives you so many options. Great players can pivot off of each foot at different situations.
We talk a lot about the Celtics calling card being defense. Only 3 field goals made in the last 16 minutes of playing time for the Timberwolves. Al Jefferson is going to get a chance for a 2-point play.
Tell you what, it's a lot of work. It's hard work for Al Jefferson with this team. I mean, he's drawn double teams, triple teams. Here's good help by KG, but he lets Al Jefferson step through. Kevin Garnett can't let Al Jefferson step through here. You got to stay squared and try to block that shot or take the contact. Great move by Al Jefferson to finish on the other side.
So KG trying to lobby for the traveling call. Al came into tonight's game averaging a double-double. Pierce gets by Love. 3 on the shot clock. Ray's going to have to shoot it. Look at Leon Poe in the middle of all that, and it goes out of bounds off Jefferson. It's going to be Boston ball. If they had a stat to credit the possession to Leon Poe.
Yeah, excellent hustle by Leon Poe using that length. You just don't realize how long Leon Poe is at times.
Garnett's going to set a screen. Wall wanted to go back to him. Pass deflected, picked off by Foy. Rebound to Ray Allen. It's about 3 minutes to go here in the third. Celtics up 57-49. Ray Allen finally gets one down. That's a long 2.
Get them old legs warmed up. Get ball over in front of the rim.
Come on, he's 5 of 10 here. He's not shooting bad. He's got 11 points. Tony Allen's about to come in here for the Celtics. Telfair trying to get through a crowd can't. Telfair again in traffic, slapped away.
Just not great offense, Mike.
No.
I mean, it was good defense, but when you dribble the air out of the ball like Sebastian Telfair did, now you're giving the defense an opportunity to set up, and Kevin Garnett could wait back there to tee that thing up.
Oh, that was too easy. Look at Leon. Look at those hands you talked about earlier. Celtics with a fresh clock here, so Rondo in no hurry. Now he flips it to Leon for 2.
And you can see now, really, the Wolves just standing around. They're getting outworked. In the first half, it was them outworking the Celtics. Now, they're getting outworked in the second half by the Celtics.
Tough crowd here. They're booing the home team with 2:10 left to go in the third. Celtics are up 61-49, their largest lead. We are back, and the Celtics have got a 61-49 lead with 2:10 to go here in the third. Mike Gorman, Donnie Marshall, Greg Dickerson all on hand. Hey, if you're looking to entertain clients or just to find that out with friends and family, single game suite nights are on sale right now for each and every Celtic home game, available to groups of up to 20. It includes great seats in your own private suite, a welcome for your group on the Jumbotron, special catering options, and a whole lot more. Also, bring your sweet ticket stub to any Modell sporting goods store, and you'll get 15% off your total purchase of regular price merchandise. Now, to inquire about available dates and seating, call 866-GO-CELTICS or visit Celtics.com. It's all courtesy of Modell's. Let's check in with our DCU sideline guy. He's Greg Dickerson.
During last year's NBA Finals, we saw both Ryan Gomes and Al Jefferson attending Finals games at the Boston Garden. Al was telling me he almost felt like he was part of the team because he was around so many guys who he grew up with in terms of being a professional, but he was especially happy for Doc Rivers. He said, going back to all the losses in that situation, you have to blame somebody, and it was Doc at that time. He said, you know what? Everybody had to point fingers, but we as players, we knew, we saw that Doc was a great coach. He was putting us in a position to win games. He had great game plans. He had great 4- or 5-minute game plans, but just as young players, we just couldn't make them happen.
Yeah, Doc talked to me before the game about how special it was to have guys like Al Jefferson and Ryan Gomes be texting him all the time about their progress, coming to the games last year in the NBA Finals in Boston.
And it's great to see their success. You know, so many people criticize Doc for not being able to develop young players. Well, you develop a guy like Al Jefferson and Ryan Gomes are making a ton of money, and they're going to be in this league a long time. And Mike Miller, a guy who Doc Rivers had a chance to coach at a young age.
17 on the night now for Garnett. He's the game's high scorer. Love will take it.
Again,
looks
doesn't look
lost to me.
comfortable.
Just looks lost to me.
I agree.
Under a minute now to play in the third. Ray Allen off the curl. Foy got there late, but got there. Tony Allen for 3.
Yeah, good ball movement, skipping the floor, skip pass, changing the sides of the floor. It really makes the defense. What Minnesota's doing is turning and looking instead of turning and running when that pass is being made.
Celtics on a 15-3 run the last 4 minutes. Another turnover. Up to Rondo. He's got Tony Allen with him. Rondo for 2.
Great little ball fake there. Great job by Tony Allen. He really made that layup happen for Rajon Rondo.
Rondo's in double figures now in 10. 4 Celtics in double figures. Make it 5 with Leon Poe having 10 off the bench. Celtics should see it one more time here in the quarter. They have just really clamped down. Great defensive play by Tony Allen to block the jumper in the corner by Gomes. Let's take another look.
Great anticipation. Ryan Gomes has to see Tony Allen. He took off from about 4 feet away. Great defensive play by TA.
Up there with the left hand. Telfair to beat the clock. Rondo, look at the hands on Rondo. Yeah. If that goes, and it does. Rajon Rondo with a whale of a third quarter. now has 13 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in the game. And the Celtics, the last 5 minutes, outscore the Timberwolves 20-3. They're starting to leave the Target Center already. 12 minutes to go in the game, a full quarter to come. 71-49, Boston. Welcome back to the Target Center here in Minneapolis. Very cold night, but the Celtics have heated up in the second half and have a commanding 71-49 lead as we start the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's legal seafood trivia question. Remember, if it isn't fresh, it isn't legal. Kevin Garnett made the All-NBA team 8 times as a member of the Timberwolves. Name the only other Timberwolves player to make an All-NBA team. Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. He's in the building.
I got a couple of guesses.
He's in the building, and it's not Kevin Ollie. So, there's Kevin. And Kevin was getting some playing time, right?
Yeah, he was playing. He strained his calf muscle. Like Kevin is, I wouldn't even say he's my closest friend. I would say he's more as a brother to me. I mean, a guy I've known since I was 17 years old and really has come to help this team in their youth. Guys like Sebastian Telfair, you know, Randy Whitman has looked to Kevin Ollie to kind of be that stabilizer for them. Played a lot with LeBron James and those guys in Cleveland also as a veteran. So he's got his work cut out here, though, in Minnesota with this young group. He's 10 years older than most of the guys on this team. So, but just an incredible person. Just you can't say enough good things about Kevin Ollie.
It's a real testament to Kevin's character and who he is, because there's always a spot on an NBA team for him. There just always is.
12th year in the league for Kevin, and just there's not enough great words to say about him. I am blessed, truly blessed to be his friend.
Stats through 3 are brought to you by Ace Ticket. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. How about that number there? 23% the Celtics holding the Timberwolves to in this game.
And it was interesting because the first half you thought the Timberwolves weren't necessarily having their way with the Celtics, but you know, if you didn't look at the stat sheet, you would say, hey, the Timberwolves are probably close to the upper 30s, mid to upper 30s, and they just couldn't turn it around coming out of halftime. You got to get refocused. You can't play the scoreboard for young teams out there. You have to keep playing the game.
Eddie House misses deep from the corner, kept alive momentarily by Perk, but picked off by Corey Brewer. Oh, Tony Allen. Tony Allen in the last week and a half has just made some incredible defensive plays.
Yeah,
Watch
great
this.
read here. Look at that great hand.
Look at that.
That is just great anticipation, Mike, to know where he's going to go with the ball and to get your hand on it.
I'm really embarrassed about Corey Brewer right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did that guy just do to me? TA up too high for the tip, and it'll be Timberwolves ball. Oh, deep to Foy. The worst shooting night ever for the Timberwolves is 29% shooting. Right now they're at 23. They're going to have to really start to light it up here to get to 29.
And Randy Foy's not helping. He's 1 for 10 at the point guard position.
Tony Allen looking for his second deep bucket tonight, and Tony back quickly, and that's going to go up. Brewer out of bounds. Oh no, they say it went up Tony Allen.
TA could have been a great defensive back, especially you talk to Danny Ainge. He'd tell you that same thing. He's just a fantastic athlete. Danny Ainge is always impressed with Tony Allen's athleticism.
Telfair rattles one home. It's kind of a mock cheer from the crowd here.
Well, I got to be honest with everyone at home. During the timeouts, they have a group of guys who come out here and dunk the ball off of trampolines. And I hate to say it, but they were getting louder cheers than the Timberwolves team is getting. Tough fans here in Minnesota.
Foul is on Perk down low.
Wow. Just one of those nights, Perk. Just no matter what you do, it seems you can't win.
Fifth foul on Perk. So it's going to be, let's see, it's Smith, Telfair, Al Jefferson, Mike Miller, and Corey Brewer. That's Smith's power game inside.
Good pass by Al Jefferson there, and that's another part of his game that has gotten better, is him really finding his teammates when those triple team and double teams come.
A little 7-0 run here by the Timberwolves, and so Celtics are going to take a timeout. 9:25 left to go in the game. Boston still comfortably in front, 71-56. 71-56, 9:25 left to go here, fourth quarter. Hey, the Celtics and Balfour have created an exclusive line of championship jewelry to commemorate the Celtics' 17th title, inspired by the official championship team ring. Go to www.celtics.com to view the entire collection and make a purchase. Have a lasting memory of championship seasons with this treasured keepsake. Let's check in with our DC sideline guy, Greg Nickerson.
I'm with the brand new UFC heavyweight champion and Minnesota native, Brock Lesnar. You won the championship last week. Is this last week for you been a real whirlwind?
Oh man, just trying to slow down and enjoy the moment's been hard to do. The first 2 days I came home and just tried to relax, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Ultimate Fighting really has become one of the main sports, whether it's like NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. I read an article about a week ago that compared you to LeBron James and said, could you be the LeBron James of Ultimate Fighting? Do you like that comparison?
I like that guy that said that. Man, I don't know. Every fight I just try to do my best and try to become a better fighter. And obviously now I got to do everything I can to help retain the title. And
do you want to keep the mantle, or do you want to take the mantle of Ultimate Fighting on the same level as the major sports?
Absolutely, yes, it's coming. I think we're unstoppable. As long as we play our cards right, everything's good, man.
Stephen Neal, the Patriots, he's got a future in mixed martial arts.
Well, I want a rematch with him. One. Stephen, you owe me one, baby.
Well, congratulations. Stephen Neal, offensive lineman of the New England Patriots, beat Brock Lesnar in college. And I'm running away as I say that. I'm running away.
Very, very wise, Greg, to be backing up as you brought that up in front of Brock. You a fan of that at all?
Mike, yes and no. I mean, I was always a boxing fan, and I think UFC has really taken a lot away from boxing. I love boxing growing up, and I really think people nowadays want to see more of a show than the actual thing itself, and I think UFC gives people that. So it is entertaining. I like it, but I'm still a boxing fan at heart.
Celtics by 20 here, 8:40 to go in the game. Eddie House goes flying by Telfair. He steps in and makes the jump shot. Celtics have Pierce, Tony Allen, Eddie House, Glenn Davis, and Kendrick Perkins on the floor. It's Jefferson, Telfair, Miller, Brewer, and Smith. Miller with a miss. Nice ball handling there by Telfair to get by a couple of Celtics. And Al with the turnaround.
Boy, he finds a way to get back to that jump hook, doesn't he, Mike?
Yep.
I mean, he really, no matter which way he's turned, you have him turning, he always finds a way to get back to that jump hook.
It's like the golfer who can always get to his 7-iron.
Absolutely. Just get this thing right into that 160, 170-yard range. Well, I have my 7-iron about 170.
I'm more 140 guy myself. But
look at this. I mean,
there's
just
Al's 7-iron right there.
Yeah, right there. Just getting right back to that sweet spot, that comfort zone. Takes great footwork, too, to be able to do that by Al Jefferson, to get your feet together, shot fake, spin, get your feet set, and go up with a nice, strong shot.
Good feed by Pierce.
We talked about it in the honeydew, Mike, at the beginning of the game. Moving the ball and moving without the ball is so important. It's been so important in the second half for the Celtics.
That's what Smith spent a career at Boston College doing.
Yeah, I like to see. I'm a fan of Craig Smith just because, again, he's one of those guys that has just worked so hard and he's found his niche.
Burke Talk about working into position to get your hook shot. 4 points in the game for Perk. He's made the only 2 shots he's taken. Eddie House, quick hands there, but Smith comes up with it. Telfair, nope. Even got fans behind us here yelling, stop dribbling.
Stop dribbling, yeah. Just too much dribbling going on by Sebastian Telfair right now. You got to give it up and hopefully get it back, but get your team into the right scoring positions.
Eddie House open, back rims that one. Eddie just 1 for 5. It's not going to phase him, though.
No.
Pierce steps in for the steal. 3-on-1, Tony Allen. Foul, Telfair. All right, let's have the answer to tonight's Legal Seafood Trivia question. KG was an 8-time All-NBA player for the Timberwolves. Name the only other Timberwolves player to make an All-NBA team.
Sam Cassell.
Nice.
I was gonna say Latrell Sprewell, but you said he's in the building, so the hint.
That's right. And he was sitting next to Kevin, too.
Right.
That's always pretty good. Remember, if it isn't fresh, it isn't legal. That's tonight's Legal Seafood Trivia question. Tony misses the first of 2. Boston by 18 here with 6:21 to go. Just got a feel for where he is.
That's it. And he keeps it simple, you know. And that's a move that Al Jefferson will have forever, and it is very, very tough to stop.
Only 4 rebounds tonight. Glenn Davis open for the jumper, can't get it to go. The Celtics now have gone cold. Timberwolves are up to 29% shooting. Eddie House with the pick, gets it ahead to Tony Allen. Does Miller have an angle? Thought he did. Blocking foul, score the bucket for Tony Allen. And we're going to get ourselves a timeout. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here at the Target Center. Celtics have got it back up to 19 again. We're back in a 19-point game, 5:43 left to go in the fourth. The Celtics are cruising here in Minneapolis. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealers. Kevin Garnett in his return, very impressive, 17 points. Al Jefferson with 21, but just 7 of 19 from the field. And there's that shooting percentage. Minnesota still below their all-time low, which is 29.6. And the Celtics up around 49%. Boston coming in #1 in the league in defensive field goal percentage.
Well, here's what the fans behind us were talking about with Sebastian Telfair. Stop dribbling, and that's what happens. You dribble yourself into trouble. And Tony Allen, the other way, great finish, great body control. Gets a chance to finish it off as a 3-point play.
Tony gets the bounce. Where Sebastian Telfair was going that pass. Almost hit Eddie in the face with it.
And you see why, again, why you have a guy like Kevin Ollie on this team for guys, especially like Sebastian Telfair, to try to get them to play, you know, within themselves, not try to do too much, try to run the offense and find that guy.
Yeah, I can understand watching Foy and Telfair why Kevin would get minutes.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the strained calf, and he'll be back in a couple games, but Randy Whitman is probably like, hey, we're lucky to have Kevin Ollie, especially when our young guys were trying to get them to play the right way. And Kevin Ollie one day is going to make a terrific coach if it's in college, if it's at the NBA level, but he's just a guy you want to have around. And as a player, guys can learn from him, especially point guards.
Does he want to coach?
I think so. We've talked about him getting into broadcasting. He said you and I inspire him. That's a true story. That's a true story. He did some shadowing with a couple guys up at ESPN this summer. So he's trying to just figure out what he wants to do after his career. And, I mean, anything he wants to do, he can do, though, Mike. Honestly, I mean, he's a guy, smart guy, hard-working guy. But coaching, he would be fantastic.
Perk trying to make a move to double figures. 4 of the Celtics starters in double figures, and 2 guys off the bench, Tony Allen and Leon Poe. Celtics with a ton of points here in the second half after a very low-scoring first half. Foy now 1 of 11. You know, there's always guys around the league that just have the misfortune of whenever you see them, they never play well.
Yeah.
You know, and I just I'm sure Randy Foy is a fine player. I've just never seen him play well.
Yeah, and he is a solid player. I mean, he's a strong guard. Now you see him out here playing the 2-guard position, and we get a chance, only 4.5 minutes, but we can get an idea of maybe that's more of his position.
Smith in a battle down low and got fouled in the process, and it's on Perk. And that's going to be the 6th on Perk. Let's take a look at tonight's official league leaders. Brought to you by TD Bank North, the official bank of the Boston Celtics. Team free throw percentage coming into tonight, the Houston Rockets at 83. Toronto, we will see them on Sunday. Can't wait to see Kevin Garnett and Jose Calderon hook up again. And Minnesota, right there, 3rd in the league in free throw percentage at nearly 80%.
It's amazing that you see them shooting that well from the free throw line, but then shooting 29% from behind the arc. It's just, it's still shooting. I mean, you would think, but you know, you put a couple 4 or 5 feet between those 2 shots, and it really makes a huge difference.
And as you mentioned, take Miller out of the mix, and they're probably shooting like 20% for the
Well, Mike Miller 1 for 4 tonight, Mike. I mean, that's what the
guys... 4 is the number.
Yeah, the 4 attempts. I mean, there have been games that you and I have done when he was in Memphis where we've seen the guy taking 20-plus shots. I mean, you have him here to shoot the ball. Let the guy shoot the ball.
Celtics get it into Gabe Pruitt's hands. He takes it hard to the basket and will get fouled and get a chance to get to the free throw line. So Gabe is going to be at the free throw line. Gabe's been finding the weight room, it looks like to me. He's kind of like getting a lot of definition up top. Brian Cardinal comes into the game, and Smith will go out. Gabe makes them both. This is going to be a tough row to hoe for Al Jefferson and Ryan Gomes here in Minnesota.
You just hope that they can, you know, do the things to build around these guys. When you got the piece down low is where you want to start teams, at least in my opinion. You start a team with your big guy. You got that. Now you got to find guys to go around him.
Good block by O'Brien down there after some good defense by Brian Scalabrine. Celtics with Tony Allen, Patrick O'Brien, Brian Scalabrine, Gabe Pruitt, and Glenn Davis on the floor. Well, you want to do that when you've been 1 for 11. You want to make sure you throw it down.
You know, you see that block on Patrick O'Brien a couple plays earlier, and you know, Kevin Love is so focused on pulling his shorts up, and I mean, he's been pulling his shorts up the entire game, Mike. It's like, come on, young fella, you're in the league now. You got to get your stuff together and let's play basketball. But
Tony Allen,
tough one.
That was a tough one. TA's got 14 off the bench tonight. 2nd consecutive good game for him. Dispelling that rumor that he only could play against the Pistons.
Yeah. I think you started that rumor, actually.
Yeah, I always, and I'm not trying to pick on the kid, but I always thought there was just too much bounce in Telfair's game. You know, as Bill Rafter used to say, in love with the bounce.
Yeah, too much. I mean, and it really takes the air. You're taking the air out of the basketball, but it takes the air out of your team. A lot of standing around. You know, certain plays are run. You lose the moment. Those plays are dead. Why not? Scal?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
3 feet from it. They're not stopping you.
5 points off the bench for Scal. Timberwolves will avoid going into the record books. It will appear they're right at 30% shooting now. Might need to make another basket, though. And before the shot, we've got a foul, but we've also got a timeout. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. 92-71 Boston.
Celtics basketball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by the MGM Grand at Foxwoods, by your New England Ford dealers, by TD Bank North, by Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, and by Southwest.
We are back here in Minneapolis, 92-71, 2:10 left to go in the game tonight. Shot is presented by Amica Insurance. Remember, it's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Kevin Garnett on his return. Nice night, 8 of 12, getting them from everywhere, but especially down low. Kevin Garnett finishing up with 17 points on the game tonight. That's the shot presented by Amica Insurance. It's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Tonight's Kia card is presented by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. And Kevin Garnett, 9 times All-NBA and All-Defensive Team. 7 times he did it in the same season. One of 2 active players along with Shaquille O'Neal with over 11,000 rebounds. And 7th among active players in total assists. The well-rounded game of Kevin Garnett, the subject of tonight's Kia card. Pruitt's got 4. Oh, there we go.
Well, you see his comfort zone, Mike. 8 feet and in, doing his work around the basket. Definitely looks more comfortable in that range than from 15 and out.
But a power forward, right? Not a center.
Yeah, definitely a power forward. Yeah, I just don't think he's big enough. He doesn't really have those offensive skills to play center.
Have to go. Bryant turns on a hook shot. Love comes down with the miss. Quickly to Carney. He's got Tony Allen waiting for him and gives it up back to 4. Brian Cardinal hits one for 3. Makes it a little closer at 92-76. Gets the Timberwolves all the way up to 31.7% shooting. Leon Wood with the call from about 25 feet away. 4th personal on 4. Stick around for tonight's post-game show presented by New England Ford. Gary, Tommy, Donnie, Greg, and I. Doc's press conference, TD Bank North Tommy Award. Post-game live. It's presented by New England Ford, and it's coming up next. Get Tommy's thoughts on what happened here tonight as the Celtics are about to cruise for their 12th win. They'll be 12-2 on the season. Headed to Toronto and a rematch with the Raptors.
And, you know, people will look past this because you expect the Celtics to win this game, but this is a great win for this team to go, again, back-to-back. Now you get tomorrow, we'll travel, but you get some rest. You get ready for an early game on Sunday, 12:30 tip against the Raptors. So this is a good win. I mean, anytime you can get a win on the road, I don't care who you're playing, you're in the NBA, back-to-back, it's always a very good win.
The team had the night off before, waiting for you at home.
And, you know, what we thought probably with Kevin Garnett, as you see him there, and Ray Allen, is it really wasn't through the roof. You know, KG's energy level was there, but it wasn't out of the ordinary, you know.
In terms of emotional level of the game, was kind of underwhelming, frankly.
Yeah.
And I direct that not towards KG, but towards the crowd.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
just pretty nice. Hey, Allen, nice to see you again.
Well, we like you mentioned to me, reading the articles in local newspapers, that's what it was to them. It was just another game. Well, that's what it was.
And one thing, as I watch this, I'd be curious if you agree with me on this, but as I watch the Celtic team, as Gabe Pruitt knocks down a jump shot, defensively, they're still marvelous. Offensively, there's a whole lot of room for this team to get better. Definitely. And when you're 12-2, and you can say that about a team, that it makes them what they are, which are the defending world champions and favorites to be right there again. But there's so much improvement that can still come on the offensive end of the floor for this team.
I mean, we saw this team last year, whatever they started the season with, 3 wins, they were 15-3, somewhere up in that range. And they were a good good team, a great team with 3 losses. I think they're just an okay team with 2 losses this season.
The road ahead presented by Acela. Visit Amtrak.com for fares and schedules. Acela, what is your destination? Next destination for the Celtics is, again, 12:30. We'll be with you on Sunday from Toronto as we take on the Raptors, then a couple of days off, and then a couple of home games for the Celtics on Wednesday and Friday before we go down to Charlotte on Saturday. So still a busy Thanksgiving week for the Celtics. 4 games. That's the road ahead presented by Acela.
Not to look too far ahead, but I expect that game to start off very slow on Sunday. Just players aren't used to playing that early in the day, Mike. They're usually napping at that time.
Rebound to Carney with 3 seconds to go. This is where you watch and see. Foy didn't even attempt the shot.
He knows better.
That's right. He's not going to mess up his shooting percentage any worse than it is tonight because it was 2 for 12.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at tonight's play of the game. It is brought to you by Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your certified auto center. Kevin Garnett coming back home to the Target Center and did a really nice job.
Yeah, he really did. Energy level, like you said, wasn't through the roof. Played within himself. His teammates fed off of him. They definitely looked to go to him, Mike, but they didn't overdo it. I mean, they played Celtic basketball off to a slow start, got it going in the second half.
Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Supercuts. Every time after a slow first half, the Celtics really got it cranked up with 35 points in the third quarter, and a big part of that was Rajon Rondo. He is our Supercut player of the game. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals as Rajon Rondo puts together back-to-back strong games. Last night against Allen Iverson and Detroit, and tonight doing a solid job against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He is our Supercuts player of the game. And as we mentioned, a lot of Celtic fans on hand. Don't forget, we will be back with you Sunday at 12:30 when the Celtics take on the Toronto Raptors. Coming up next, it's Postgame Live, presented by New England Ford. Everybody will be stopping by, anxious to hear what Tommy has to say back in the studio, along with Gary, as the Celtics roll to their 12th win and win a back-to-back, a tough one, too. Final score here again tonight, 95-78. Celtics, an easy win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't forget, Postgame Live is coming up next. For Donnie and Greg, I'm Mike Gorman. See you later.